Hi Soul Family, welcome to the Matrix Oracle. My name is Audrey. I am your host for this Mercury retrograde in Aries reading. So April 1st to the 25th, 2024, I'm going to be reading for the collective energy. And if you were born with a natal Mercury in a fire placement, that means Mercury in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So I got a lot of messages, especially in terms of mind control and boundary setting, because Mercury teaches us about knowledge, but especially knowledge within the throat, but also with Aries, the boundaries and the grid work of our creation. So working on the garden of creation. I tried to go live for doing this, and I did. I just did not feel that I was getting the message quite across. And because I value the ones that are watching this channel and supporting my journey and supporting their own journey in terms of inner work, energy work, I wanted to make sure that I had covered all the aspects of those cards. So I'm taking back the cards that I pulled for the collective reading, and I'm going to review this, and we're also going to deep dive into the frequencies on my YouTube channel, because there's a lot that is being done to support all my empaths out there. If you're struggling with boundaries, if you're struggling like just what I experienced, where I was feeling that I was in front of a crowd where there was a percentage that was there for the reading and a percentage that was not there for the right reason. And it didn't fly by me. I love actually sharing those little moments with all of you that are on my path, on my journey, because it shows you that sometimes you'll make decisions based out of your heart and your kindness and your warmth. And then you'll realize that maybe you're going to revise and do things a little bit differently, so you can also protect your light, protect also the intentions, and make sure that you have strong boundaries in terms of respecting and appreciating who you are and what you have to offer. So, all right, all this has been said and done. You're going to be watching per elements according to your Mercury placement. But if you only have access to this free video and reading, this is going to also be the collective message. Let's roll. All right. Let's get rolling with those collective messages, and especially for the ones with natal fire Mercury placements. So again, Mercury in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Let's see what we had. So that's something that I pulled with everyone. And those are beautiful messages. Ooh, they're in the reverse. So let me see. That was the first one. Appreciation. Appreciate your light. With this Mercury retrograde is going to be part of the lessons. And by the way, you guys, this is very interesting. I do have a fire Mercury in Sagittarius. So this message, when I felt it and I stayed with it after I turned off the live, I was like, I got to revise this. This is not in alignment with the cards. This doesn't feel right. And I'm so glad that I'm here also to demonstrate, how sometimes you'll be exposing and attempting certain things in your life just because you feel that inclination, and you'll just have to review it. Okay, remember, this is a moment of review, a moment where you're going to review things that you're doing and making sure that you're doing them in a way that protects and makes your light be seen, appreciated, valued, heard, and create that field for yourself. And then we have cornucopia, because then this field that you're creating for yourself, then you can actually enjoy all the fruits, not just for yourself, for everyone else, because you're doing this for yourself. Like that vibration of becoming a very mindful gardener of your intention, gardener of gatekeeping, because of Aries has the seed. It's like the first zodiac sign. It plants the seed, and it knows what type of playground it can allow itself to play, and what's outside of its comfort zone. And here with those messages, we're seeing that we're making sure that we are expanding our field and playground according to, not because we want more, but the way we expand, it's because we know and feel and recognize our light. So when we appreciate all of those qualities, we actually nourish ourselves in greater ways, and we allow this nourishment to be part of what others manifest in their reality as well, because that's something that I want for you guys. So I do have to revise also my own approach to everything, so I offer that playground for you as well. Okay, so let's see what we have next. We have patience. And that was beautiful because it's patience towards yourself, it's patience towards also the cycles of fruition, towards what you're manifesting, and walking away. I love this. That means sometimes you'll see that you're going to realize when you start appreciating more and more who you are, who you're becoming, that the divine timing, you're planting seeds and they're actually taking shape and form. And then you'll be able to have to be more knowledgeable or recognize with more ease what is part of your garden that is a weed and maybe not a fruit, parts of it, because you become mindful. You're like, hey, this is something that I want to upgrade in my life, that I want to up level. Now, there was one message that I want to repeat. That was the part where I had watched a video about the frequency of waiting, and it was lowering the vibration. So if some of you've ever caught yourself, or you're catching yourself, especially in this period of time, where you feel like you're waiting for something, waiting for someone, waiting for a situation, and it keeps you from moving with certain desires or even taking care of yourself. Or if some of you are actually waiting maybe on the relationship, on an opening for something to change, and you're trying to fill the space with distraction. Maybe, I don't know why, with the fruit, I've saw maybe emotional eating, or trying to fuel this, even if it was with self-care, but out of trying to fill that gap. You have to watch out, because the vibration of waiting is actually something that pulls energy out of your vibration. It lowers your vibration. There's something very different with being in attunement. I'm realizing I'm not even putting this facing you, my dear friends, okay? There's a very strong difference with being able to attune to your inner guidance, to your inner clock, and knowing what feels right to you, to your intuition. And sometimes when it might be time to go, or it might time to embark on something else, on something new, there's definitely here with this energy some teachings about respecting your light, respecting what empowers and disempowers you, recognizing what is that, and rectifying, rebalancing. Those are actually the degrees that we're covering in the retrograde. The last degrees, I think we're starting around 27 degrees of Aries, all the way up to the 15, where we're retrograding here. And this is kind of what we're covering as a master teaching. And look at those Kali cards, they're amazing. We have, do not allow negative thought or speech to undermine your inner spiritual connection. Claim your voice and your power to express yourself from your heart. Though it may not yet be visible in your physical world, a new order is generating within the soul, and in time it shall manifest in a transformation that heals your inner world and improves your physical life circumstances too. You see, this is showing you that sometimes you take decision based on maybe some of the old programs of your life, and you want to still be connected to your higher self, to revise, to review, to change and upgrade, and not let the ego say, well, oh, I did it, well, I just won't change that because I've done it and that's done and that's that. Try to, just like a child that's learning a skill, that's learning a craft, that's learning a hobby, anything, you don't get it right the right time the first time. You repeat, you rehearse, okay? And sometimes you'll try something different and it won't be the result you expected. But that approach within yourself, to allow yourself to have the feel for creation, for experimentation, for, things that might be considered like failing, okay? That's not what I wanted. That's not the result. Okay, well, let's try a different way, okay? I feel this is very important because with this Mercury retrograde, we're working on our mindset. And we're working in our mindset in a way that wants to feel nourishing to our soul, and especially to the connection between the lower self, so the material self, and the higher self. So between physical and spirit, okay? And then we have the energy here of that lion breath here, or sticking up your tongue, as sometimes I call it dragon. You may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences, yet to trust in divine timing alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end and a new dawn shall arise. You see here, I love this message because sometimes, it's like the right things according to the timing, but not just the timing, the feel that you offer. And the feel that you offer, especially if you're offering to others, it involves others. So you're going to want to nurture and foster more of a relationship with the universe to know what feels really aligned at the right moment, at the right time. Okay. And some of you, if you have some difficulty with decisions based on relationship, nourish more of your connection to source. This is something that I feel strongly for you. Check your boundaries and affirm your right to express and receive both kindness and respect. Embrace your softer side and your ability to stand up for yourself. You are a unique being and you do not need to conform to stereotypes. As you relax into your authentic self, the best method to accomplish what is needed shall spontaneously arise from within. Okay? So I love this energy. We also had not the right time and the yes. So I feel that some of you, this is going to be really showing you in the spirit of time how to decipher what is nourishing you and what is not. In terms of frequency healing for this Mercury retrograde, I strongly suggest the Super Empath playlist. This is the collective energy. It speaks of boundaries very loudly and clearly. If you need guidance about how to use those frequencies, please feel free to reach out. Either email me or DM me on Instagram. Thank you so very much. If you were born with a natal Mercury in an Earth placement, so Mercury in Taurus, Mercury in Virgo or Capricorn, those messages are for you on top of the collective message for the fire element. Okay, there's a lot about boundaries. As far as frequency healing, review the Super Empath playlist. Okay, let's see what else may come through for you. Ooh, Angel of Love. So we're making sure for you, my dear Earth Mercuries, that we are creating and coming from a place of love, and especially in terms of mindset, because we're working with Mercury. We're talking about knowledge that makes us express, and obviously the words stem from the mind. So coming from a place of love. There's some attachment. This is interesting because there was something about a message about watching for some of you being attached to the energy of waiting because of a relationship. You have to care for yourself. And some of you, the attachment, I would see using the Super Empath playlist will help you understand some of the attachment, some of the dynamic of why maybe you're repeating a cycle, because here with this chain, there might be a loop going on. Let's see the other cards before we continue with this. Ooh, envy. Some of you, you're seeing that others, you're focused more on the light of others instead of seeing your own. But I would say, from what I'm feeling here and from the collective message, you've been so used to give away your light that you're not able to see it, and you're not, and the people that are taking advantage of that light, of that love, of that tenderness, of that compassion, you're not serving them either, because they're just feeding on something they don't know how to create themselves. Okay, that's a strong message for all my empaths that are trying to be loving. You're not serving the purpose that you really want to serve, which is teaching love, and not by just giving it, but how to create it within the self. How do we create love within the self? And some of you, if you need others to create that, then there's an attachment here to others for creating love, okay? And obviously we're social creatures and we're here to learn from the mirror effect, but there's also that nurture that we need to kind of learn how to care for within the self. Deceit. You're definitely here with a Mercury in the earth, okay? Learning how to recognize, maybe some of you, like where your light is being fragmented or stolen, but especially because it's Mercury in retrograde, where do you lose your power? Where do you put your energy into? Because your focus is where your energy goes. And some of you, you might be focusing on the things that are not in alignment with your true self. There's an attachment to others playing a bigger role. I feel that some of you, there's a conditioning from childhood definitely here. Maybe you thought that was normal to serve others. There was no other way. That's so interesting. All right, let's see what we have. Tune into the spiritual power within you. It is beyond what society understands and can offer you. See? It will nourish, protect, inspire, and guide you through any troubles. If your path is diverging from your original plans or is out of sync with those around you, trust in what is happening and know that you are within Kali's care. Some of you, it's about walking a different path and it might not feel comfortable. If you have access to my YouTube membership, on top of the super empath, if you have a Mercury in an earth placement, please use the inner child sovereignty. Definitely, I want to write this inner child sovereignty, the sovereign inner child. I can't remember the title. But I remember when I created this, the prayer is almost like the prayer of a parent wishing their child the best. And some of you may not have received this, and this is something that may affect what we spoke about, you know, as far as putting your love and light outward. Okay, let's see what else. She arrests the flow of negativity, particularly that of our own making. Yay! She transforms our karma from that which hinders our joy to that which can create true happiness. As you seek refuge in her, you are protected from gossip, slander, and any other form of negativity from others. A positive turning of the tide of good fortune is predicted. See, Some of you, maybe you have a strong connection to Kali. If you want to look her up in your chart, she is number 4227, 4227. There's definitely some intervention to continue nurturing this type of flow. So I love it for Mercury retrograde. You're upgrading, up leveling your mindset. You're seeing yourself with more kindness, with more love. You're also shifting some of the programs from the family, how the family fed you. You know, when I'm thinking about the earth, in terms of Chinese medicine, this relates to the stomach meridian and the spleen. Those are super, super powerful. That means that people that have those earth placement, you're very earthy, but in terms of your Mercury, your thoughts, they're going to be very strongly felt. The spleen has a connection to every 33 vertebrae. That's the only meridian lined organ that has access to all your spine. Can you imagine this? That's really powerful. So that means that here I feel this is something that some of you, if you've been struggling with reading yourself from this momentum, this Mercury retrograde is perfect for it, for that healing to come forward. Okay? Now let's see here. A process of profound and enduring transformation is leading you towards a powerful rebirth, free from even the most persistent patterns or pains of your past. Your soul is in deep healing. Recovery can be painful, but you will emerge renewed and released. You are blessed to experience a new life within this lifetime. This is beautiful. So some of you, if you thought like, oh, I'm always like this, and you think you can't go beyond this, stop your thinking there, okay? Some of you, if you have any questions, you can always use, when I have the crystal balls, you can throw the question out there. We have here, reconsider. There might be, okay, so some of you, again, when I was saying like, oh, I'm this way. Some of you, you have attached some of the trauma response or the childhood negative patterning as a part of yourself. Like this is part of your character. This is part of your personality. Reconsider that. Allow you the space for rebirth and reconsideration. And choose a new direction. Choose a new direction. Some of you, I would say it's important, maybe there's an activation in your North Node, South Node that you want to take into account. Maybe you want to take into account what your compass is aligning you to. Okay, some of you, that would be through the birth chart analysis that you can consider this. So that's what I have for you, my Earth Mercury placement. Loving those messages, more love coming your way in such very powerful ways. Yeah. Namaste. If you were born with a natal Mercury in an air placement, so Mercury in Gemini, in Libra, or Aquarius, those messages are for you for the Mercury retrograde in Aries, April 1st to the 25th, 2024. You would ideally want to listen as well to the collective message in the fire placement. There's a lot of energy boundaries. We're reviewing, becoming in control of our thoughts, being less susceptible to be influenced in the way we think, because then we get distracted. We don't have enough space for creation towards our goal, towards what our higher self wants to manifest. All right, let's see what we have for you. Men holding a coin. Prosperity here with the number 43. A storm warning. Interesting. Okay, I think this has to do with rewiring your success mindset. There's something that you're shifting with this Mercury retrograde about abundance in particular, but especially because it's the man, there's also a woman holding a coin. There's something about how you think about prosperity, how you think you can manifest success. That is being upgraded, especially if you have an air Mercury. Love this. 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. You're going to be called to start manifesting prosperity through your connection to the higher self, through God, through being an extension, a channel for source energy to manifest. Oh, look at this. Man holding a heart. You're going to become so loving. And by the way, all those men here, they're about your mindset. It's perfect for Mercury as far as a retrograde. You're reviewing. There's certain things that maybe in the past you've rehearsed. And I would say some of you, maybe you've learned some of the law of attraction techniques and it didn't work in the past. Because maybe you had to connect more to your heart. Because maybe some of the things that you manifested, they would come up and they would maybe fade away or be taken away, or it wouldn't last, it wouldn't have longevity. There's something here with a natal Mercury in air that I'm feeling that longevity is important. The universe wants you to be in that alignment of building something that is prosperous, that is abundant, that is aligned mostly with your heart. And that means like it's almost kind of like reversing your process of co-creation here. Some of you, if you were just setting goals first, start more with wishing, just like a child. This came up, what reading this came up? The lunar eclipse. This is so good because this is actually an energy from the eclipse season. This retrograde starts in between the lunar and the solar eclipse. We're really being rewired for creating in a way that is actually faster in the way it materializes, but in the way also it gets attracted, because it is the magnetic field of the heart, not the electric field of the mind. This is more limited. This is more expanded. Let's see what we have. Shodashi cleanses the soul from past hurts. Her presence indicates recovery and a reclaiming of dignity after experiences of being judged, betrayed, or criticized. If your innate being has been put down in any way, or if there has been bullying or nastiness directed towards you, Shodashi brings healing and renewal so you can rise above and lay claim to your innate beauty and worth. Okay, so some of you, there's I feel, with this energy here, that maybe some of the goals that you had set, or some of the things you thought you wanted and that are being realigned, they came more from wanting to almost like prove your worth to those bullies, prove that whatever. It was more out of wanting to show the ones that hurt you, not the ones that value you and see you. It's almost like directing your energy towards something that was hurtful, that was resisting, that was in polarity with you, instead of going towards what is meant for you, what feels right. Okay, and that doesn't mean the goals are wrong, but it's actually the energy behind, the fuel, the drive. Some of you, with what I just said, as far as the energy work, we're reviewing the Super Empath playlist big time. But for you, I feel that there is a message in particular in the Mars in Pisces. Go and review the Mars in Pisces, because there, when I spoke about the fuel, there's something in your Mars that needs an upgrade. Okay? Then we have knowing what to allow and what to fight for or against requires wisdom. Shamunda is the fearlessness, wisdom, patience, and discipline required to conquer a difficult situation. Shamunda is the power to accomplish what you need and desire. She is with you now. Her presence now portends a truly exceptional breakthrough on your path. See, I love this because you see there was like do you want to fuel and feed that resistance, that focus towards the thing you don't want, the people that hurt you, that made you feel this way, you know, going against a feeling versus nourishing a positive feeling. I don't ever want to feel like this, so I'll do this. What about nourishing the feeling of love, of appreciation, of being feeling valued? And that means, like, what are the things you can do for yourself that makes you feel valued and protected and safe? Some of you, if you watch the collective reading, you'll see that I actually went live for this reading and I faced the energy of two split crowds where I couldn't feel my best or give my best because I was feeling this duality. And I'm like, you know what? That's not what I want. To feel those opposition. I have no obligation to put myself in that space. I have the possibility of creating a space where I don't feel that. It's not a necessity. I don't need to show my face or, you know, prove anything. So I feel like I wanted to share this little bit with you, my air Mercury, because that's something that as you surrender some of the fights, surrender some of the conflict, your higher guidance can come through much easier, okay? Arta of Kali, you are forging your authentic path, yes. In support of that, you shall attract great blessings that will benefit all beings to live a spiritually and creatively self-directed life that takes incredible strength and trust in yourself. Remember that the promise of your sacred success is being fulfilled through every challenge and every blessing. Trust in what you were born to accomplish. So again, I feel that some of you, some of the things that you wanted to create it out of the past hurt, they're not wrong. They're actually things that are still meant for you. And maybe that duality and that contrast were meant for you to make sure you were going to go after this, okay? But now is a time for eclipsing the negative feelings and momentum that may still be in your fuel tank and put love instead. Put appreciation, put value, put worth and trust and faith in yourself to move forward with that face. All right? If you have any questions, let's see if we have the crystal balls type of indication with this. Get more information. See, this is where I feel personally the Mars in Pisces was strong. And if you have not watched the lunar eclipse, definitely review this and maybe review the frequency work. Okay, I always give some frequency work cards, either the cards or just in my speech I give you invitation here. So Mars in Pisces and the lunar eclipse. There we go. And then we have unlikely. Some of you, there's a bond that is breaking. There's a release with this lunar eclipse. And if some of you are feeling strongly attached, if you've been getting sick, if you're getting a lot of heaviness, okay, you're probably, your body is trying to quiet you so you can work through those layers, because some of you may have some strong attachment with the old. I do feel, if you're struggling with this, to go with the quantum fascia healing playlist. There's 3 of them. There's removing the addiction. There is releasing any type of congestion on the emotional body and maybe numbness of the emotional body. And there's also the last one, which I feel the most for you, letting go of some of the karmic bondage that could be in the fascia. Okay? All right, my dear air Mercuries, this is what I have for you. I'm sending you many blessings and much love and light. Namaste. If you were born with a natal Mercury in a water placement, those are your messages for the Mercury retrograde in Aries, April 1st to the 25th, 2024. I do highly suggest you watch the fire element, which is the collective reading, so you can get an idea of what the theme is. But I'm going to tell you, this is about boundaries, especially in the mind, not being swayed and influenced, protecting your energy boundaries, psychic boundaries, for aligning to your greatest timeline. Okay, let's see what we have. And also, I feel for you, especially my dear Mercury water, being able to fully see your light, being able to appreciate and sense your light in all its richness. Look at all this gold. Victory. Okay. Goddess of the moon. Okay, my water Mercuries, you're definitely here in a great place for benefiting of this eclipse season. Okay, there's a lot that is being illuminated that you were not able to see, especially about yourself, especially about maybe some of the things you did not give yourself credit for, that if you were waiting for others to give you that credit, you're going to be able to do this for yourself. Door to value. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. Is it going to be easy for all of you? I'm not sure, because I'm feeling, some of you, the resistance here with the eclipse. I would say make sure that you watch the lunar eclipse reading to help you attune with this. Blossoming abundance. You're definitely, though, you have 25 days, about 25 days of this retrograde, where some of the things that you did not give yourself credit for, maybe was waiting for others to notice. They did notice. Some of you people that you have in your life, they notice all your great qualities. Do they show you that? Maybe not. Not maybe until, because they're actually helping you, making sure that you're able to do this for yourself, because you're the only one that knows how to access all the abundance within yourself. There's something greater that you haven't seen inside yourself. This really, really resonates with the lunar eclipse reading. There's an essence, a part of you. Breath work would be highly beneficial. I do suggest that you review my True Abundant Nature album, where I do give you a video tutorial of all type of 4 breaths to help you do psychic surgery in terms of your aura, but also notice the imbalances. Okay, because there's maybe something that was out of balance that you're realizing through the eclipse season. Dakshina. She appears fierce, and yet she is benign. Her oracle brings the message that a situation which may frighten or intimidate you is well within your capacity to handle. No matter how dramatic or intense a situation may appear to be at this time, it shall eventually be little more than a passing memory and not have any negative bearing upon your future. Okay, so I feel that some of you, there's an over dramatization as far as what a situation can be, but the universe right now is going to show you and illuminate that it is just an illusion, that is just a fear. Just like when you were a child and maybe there was like a corner that was not well lit, and your imagination fed some of those fears, okay? Maybe because it was unknown, because you were a child, okay? There's something that you're outgrowing. When I repeated child, You're outgrowing a certain fear, and there's a new emergence here. Chaos will give way to the higher order of love. I love this. Again, I told you when I could feel there was some difficulty, and it's the letting go, it's the surrendering. Remember, when you have like water placement, and here it's Mercury, you want your mindset to be receptive, but at the same time you have to watch for being under the influence, so how much receptivity and how much you're sending out. So it's a complex dynamic, but you're going to get really some crucial information and nuggets of wisdom through this Mercury retrograde in Aries. Let there be peace in your heart. As Blue Terror looks to her right, gazing towards the future, she sees a vision of your peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future. You have every right to feel hopeful, happy, and secure in the destiny now unfolding for you, okay? I don't know why, but I have this remembrance of someone recently that reached out and told me, I used to fear so much the eclipse, and some of you, maybe this is, and I remember having very traumatic experiences with eclipse season, because when I see it now with how much smoother this feels, it's because there's been a rehearsal of the process of honoring, the ego to be transcended, to be released, to be surrendered, and kind of offering this version of the self to the higher self for renewal. Okay, so I feel as some of you just know that if there is fear around this period of time, this Mercury retrograde is trying to show you this is a process that is actually meant to be loving, because it's meant to take you and up level you to a version of yourself that is more at peace, that is manifesting with more ease, that is speaking into creation things that you need and want with more ease and less chaos and less resistance. We have a Medusa energy here. In order to grow, the soul may need to separate itself from that which it once relied upon. Oppression will be overcome. Do not cling to what has been. Sometimes the best way to heal from the past is to cut it off completely and focus on inner regeneration and reorientation towards a more fulfilling future. You shall know true love and freedom. I feel here that some of you might want to look at your Medusa placements. It's the asteroid 149, so 149. And I would say work with the aura strengthener and cleanser, okay? There's something about your inner field that you might want to regenerate. It's some of you, I would say, if you have access to my YouTube membership, work with the void, okay? And you might work also with the regeneration power nap for the aura, okay? This is a nervous system regeneration. That's what I feel for those cards. Let's see if there's more messages here. If you have questions, those are usually crystal balls. Energy. Go. The time is right. Ooh la la, I like this. You see, you're right in the midst of the cycle. So some of you, if there was a hesitance, okay, I would say go, it's the right time. Go and remove some of the old fears. Start to rehearse a new way of thinking and being. Start rehearsing new habits. Usually we don't want to start new things in the Mercury retrograde, but we do want to conceive certain different ways of approaching this. So I feel as some of you, this is an invitation for those 24 days to rehearse new patterns of feeling more success, more abundance, more appreciation, and remove some of the fears of the past, so then you can have that momentum forward. Listen to your intuition. with the owl. I love this. So some of you, I feel that the ancestors, you might have a past, you know, grandparent or whatever ancestor, or even a parent, some of you, that could be guiding you through this phase. So take the space and time for this to be nurtured and to be allowed. Thank you so very much. Namaste.